Go.
I'm live.
I'm live.
Okay, everybody. Welcome to another monkey show flies around the world. We are today leaving from Kyaukpyu in whatever the hell name that is.
Did you rehearse that?
Yes.
It sounded like it. You've been working on that for hours.
Yeah.
It's in Myanmar, which is recently Burma.
In Myanmar and / Burma.
It's in the description.
And we're going to Bangkok, Thailand. We're going to be landing at Bangkok International. Moondog is flying his King Air 350, is it?
No. It's the Beechcraft King Air 200B.
There it is. And Zig is flying his Dash 8, and therefore I will be flying this massive B377 because this is the only plane I have that will keep up with them. And of course we have to take off from a runway that's the size of a postage stamp. So thank you very much for that, Moondog.
We flew in here, we have to fly out of here.
Yes, but we flew in here in C-47s.
You'll be all right. You can handle it.
Yeah.
I have nothing but
this is asphalt.
Nothing but
the
faith.
last one this short was gravel, so.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my plane started here. Moondog, I guess, is going to be starting his. I think Zig went through some of the more complicated stuff with his.
I got my engine started and running because it takes a while, quite a bit longer than you guys to get through my stuff. So.
Right.
I got a few things to do, but I'm more or less ready to go.
Flip on my APU. Check. Those look good.
Let's see.
Alright, those all look good. So now we're going to go back here to the flight engineer.
And because I don't have enough power in here yet, I gotta do that so that I don't get a hot start.
And since it is very warm, I will be opening my cowl flaps all the way. Crack throttles. There.
And then that should give us a good start. It is good. When starting this thing, I have to make sure when I'm doing it, this should be on auto. When the battery power's down, I can start it without the battery, without the gauges up. I just got to make sure I don't hot start it.
Right.
Which hot starting is, if we watch this gauge here, we got to make sure it gets up over 15%. Then we can add fuel mix, and it starts up and takes off. If you do it beforehand, then it hot starts, and then it's like not good for the engine, not good for anything. And once it's started, we can kick that off. Generate on. Safeties. Zoom in here. Smoking.
And also, since we are doing a direct GPS route, and these two guys have GPS and I don't, I will be doing a dead reckoning flight.
And we may tell him the direction he needs to go. I mean, we will be telling him the direction that we will be going.
No, I can find my way if I need to. Alright.
Well, I am ready whenever you guys get your stuff done and do what you want to do.
How about this? GPS in this thing is not up to date enough to know where I'm at. So I may be doing the same thing Draco's doing.
And our cruising altitude today is going to be 21.5. Once my cylinder head temperatures get up to where they need to be.
Where's my flight
temperature?
plan? Okay. Okay, this plane, I got it from just, or Flight 1 is where I got it from.
I thought it's a just flight, isn't it? Or no?
No, it's Flight 1. Flight 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I only have
That's
one
right.
slight issue. I don't have the navigation on this thing right now. I don't have a flight plan in here at all.
Really?
Yeah. Let me double check, make sure it's loaded. It's loaded. GPS.
Mine shows us, let's see.
Let me just go back through here. There, everyone's looking at a blank screen here real quick.
Mine shows us basically flying at a heading of 129 from where we're sitting right now, so.
Huh.
I assume that
Still
goes
didn't
to
go.
where we want us to go.
Now, for those of you watching Zig's stream, I will be going right down the runway at him, but I will turn around before I reach him, so...
So he says.
Oh no, if I was going to run into anybody head-on with this, it'd be Moondog.
Wait a minute, why me? Never mind. I know why.
Well, I know we have to take a heading of 280, at least that's what my flight plan says.
No kidding. Don't have it real handy, aviation. If you go to the just flight, or sorry, flight1.com, and you just go to their available stuff. It's right there, first page normally. I'm trying to program this thing in for a. Let me try and do this. VTBD. There you go. I got a direct course from right here. That works.
A little bumpy over here in the grass.
Yeah, I'm just running down through here. People are already asking Nightbot not to throw them off the stream.
Don't do anything to piss off Nightbot.
Yeah. This thing really doesn't have off-road tires. Now, Zig is in a -8, and I have my Join FS stating that that should be a -8, but it's still a DC-6 from the last time we were flying similar planes. and I reset it, but it's
Now,
still
I know you're not
going
going to cut right in front of me.
Nope, I'm going to let you go in front.
Does that make us ready?
Makes us ready.
Or at least ready enough for me to get out of the way?
Yep.
All right. Let's see what we can figure out.
So we are going to preface everything right here
With
Draco may be cursing by the end of the runway. So if you have sensitive ears, you've been forewarned.
If you have sensitive ears, a heart condition, or anything that may make you fragile.
They make you fragile. If you are a snowflake, please step away from the screen.
Hey Zig, you're not really ready yet, are you? Can you do me one favor? Just to try it?
I'm going.
Oh, never mind. I was going to have you just click out of FS join and back in, but that's all right.
It wouldn't be on his end, it'd be on yours.
Yeah. Well, I completely shut mine down and it wasn't.
Alright, did my run up. Close cowl flaps to 3 inches.
Whew.
By the looks of, he's up.
Yep.
And he hit that big BC6. So what's your? I mean, you shouldn't have any problem.
Moondog. Throttles to max.
Gear up.
And boom.
Hey BP.
What's going on, fellas?
Oh boy.
Hey,
Deciding to we're watching Draco take off from a runway he shouldn't be taking off from.
Oh, well, there you go. Actually, I'm watching nothing right now.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh. Oh.
Plenty of room, right?
No.
Yes, I acknowledge. Thank you. Go away.
Mayday.
So,
Mayday?
so to me, BP is super quiet.
Yeah, you probably
right.
are. I've been messing with my audio now for, I don't know, about 200 years, so... Hold on here. Okay, let me get over. Hold on, let me, Oh, what's the problem? Is it... Is that any better?
You're a little louder, yeah.
How's that?
Getting there.
Better?
Yes, that's
Yes.
closer to where you're normally at.
That's what I was gonna
Okay.
say. Sounds a little more normal.
Maybe I'm just quiet today.
You do sound a little. I mean, your volume
Maybe
is
I'm just quiet.
your volume was a little lower, but you do sound a little quieter as well. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, Mike. Welcome to the stream.
All right, up in the air. Yes. Yes, hand it off. Thank you.
You're off to my favorite place to say on VATSIM.
Well,
I just love it.
Did
When
you see the photo that we put in your Discord?
Probably not.
Mike, this is the Boeing B377 Stratocruiser.
Or to us regular people, it's just an ugly ass plane. What am I looking at here?
Beauty's
Oh,
in
the
the
one
eye
with
of the
you guys?
beholder.
Yes, it is. Hence why you're married and I'm not. This is what the
beach-
three of you underwater.
Yeah, we were flying the Beechcraft or the Beaver,
The
whatever.
Beaver. Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Beaver.
Havilland.
De Havilland.
The Beaver. Isn't it the? Oh no, that's the other one's the otter. That's the Beaver, right?
Yeah.
There's a goose too.
Propeller. A goose. Goose. Of course, there's a goose. Why would there be? All
Right.
great names for planes, like the Albatross. That worked out well. Moondog, this video is very long. I need you to edit this down to less than 9 minutes. I dare you. I did it. I took an hour and 56 minutes of Old Ridge and edited it down to 9 minutes.
I know you did. I was watching it. I'm like, I got time to watch this on my drive home. Zip, done. I'm like,
Yep.
what?
If you see a video longer than 20 minutes on my channel ever again, I will never make another YouTube video. I took an hour and 15 minutes of ETS just a little while ago, which I'm uploading right now. Cut it down to 18 and a half minutes. You're a controller on VATSIM? Cool. I fly on VATSIM a lot. A lot. I mean, a lot. Many hours.
As in more than just a lot, like
Yeah.
only.
A lot. I'm almost always a Speedbird something or other. So I like it when any sort of the odd countries are on, and I get to say Bangkok really slowly. You gotta have some fun when you're in a plane for 12 hours.
Zig is up and gone. I don't even see him.
Zig always blows by to you guys.
I'm
Like, he's
not
just
gone.
full throttle.
No.
Flaps up, gear up.
Yeah.
See ya.
You want me to loop
I don't have time
around?
for this. Yeah, could you turn around?
I'll come around.
What am I looking at for scenery here, Moondog? Is that what is that?
That's Orbix. That's
Is it?
Burma.
Is it just global?
Just global.
Oh yeah, it's good.
So if we jump out, you'll catch up with it. What we did one night was, okay, well, Zig and I have Orbix, but we
Yeah.
all have Rex 4, so we all have basically the same clouds, the same water, the same weather. We have this, we all have active sky now. So
Okay.
the only thing we don't have then is Draco with Orbix yet.
Yeah.
And other than like the same plane, we're all pretty much, you can jump from screen to screen, and other than seeing different plane, you're seeing
Yeah.
the same flight.
Well, see, you guys fly. Now, I have all of the, like, I have land class. Not the whole world. I just, oh, no, actually, no, I don't have the whole world. I have Europe and parts of Russia. I have, obviously, global. I have FTX England. I have FTX Europe, most of Europe.
Yeah, Mike.
But,
For the time this plane was advanced with the 2 passenger decks and the pressurized cabin.
I'll be right back.
Everybody wear oxygen masks.
All right. Well,
All right. At the altitudes I fly, you don't really get to see it very much, so kind of a waste of money.
why is this thing?
Yeah, you can basically think of this plane as the grandfather of modern airliners.
Or a plane designed on by somebody who was smoking the very earliest form of meth. One or the other. You know what's ugly? I'll tell you what's ugly. The A380 is ugly. That's an ugly plane. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I get it. You know, it's massive and it's whatever, but it's ugly. It's got a big bump. Look, it's got a concussion.
Yeah.
What plane is ugly is the Constellation.
Most beautiful plane ever made, without a doubt. The Congo, without a doubt. The sexiest plane ever made. And the SR-71, you know, the spy plane thing. But for civilian aircraft, the Concorde was just the business.
All right. What's going on here? Come on. Thank you. That's that. There we go.
So boy controls in America. I never fly in America, so I don't really. Never. Like I haven't flown in America in probably 7 years. I should probably do more of it, but can't be honest. I think I can't do a flight from, I don't know, where was I supposed to fly tonight, which I'm not going to. Cape Town, which is about 13 hours from Heathrow. I could have edited that down to about 9 minutes, too. Here's the setup. Click, done. Here's the landing. Click, done. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, it's my Pull of Profit. See you later. I'm just tired of people complaining about videos are too long. Okay, well, they're not too long anymore, are they? Well, I'm serious, you know, and I don't want to, like, I'm not going to hijack your stream with my crap, but because nobody was on Discord today, so I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody. I am, honest to God, about one more video away from never making it up.
All right. Well, I don't want you to. Anything I can do to help, I'm here for you. But at the same point, if you do, you better not freaking just like disappear. You can still come and hang out.
Right. Well, I know. Well, I tried to hang out today. Nobody was around.
Some of us were at work today, you know?
Like, even David wasn't around today, and I was nervous. Like, what the hell is he? Well, you know, I'm starting to depend on him a bit too much, I think. It's not fair to me. I've been having a
he's got week. School stuff. Everyone's got school that. Stuff. You were planning for a possible hurricane to make landfall, and I was just watching that. You might get a little bit of rain.
Well, it depends on the track it takes. Remember, I'm about 60 miles inland, so this hurricane's about 200 miles across. It depends on the track. It's not here yet. It's still like North Carolina or whatever. So it really depends on the track. Now, as you get further north, the water gets colder. There's less energy for it to really do anything with. That's why we don't get nailed up here very often. It's not going to be pleasant out on the Cape or at Nantucket. You know, there'll be real high surf and rain will pour down.
They've already got that. Yeah, it'll get worse.
It's raining here. It's raining here right now. It's hot. It is hot here. Holy crap! For the middle of September, it was probably 85 today with about 90% humidity. It's probably 75 right now, the same amount of humidity. So, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I doubt very much we get any major effects. It'll probably rain, and if it rains real hard here, sometimes the telephone poles fall out of the ground. So that could be a thing. But
Are you telling me that the linemen in that area didn't put enough gravel around the telephone pole, and now just a little bit of rain and mud, and they just fall over?
Have you ever seen them put a telephone pole in the ground? I mean, well, obviously
no, I did it for 6 months to a year. Yeah.
Because the one in front of my house got knocked down. Right, a truck hit it because the road's real narrow and two trucks are trying to pass each other, whatever, and it didn't knock it all the way down, but split it right, like its base, right.
Yeah.
So they come and they cut it. They take all the wires off and then they cut it where it was split, and they just put another one next to it and roped it to the little bit that was left.
Oh,
they didn't dig a hole. They didn't do anything. They literally jammed it in the ground with a crane.
That's not normally how you're supposed to do that. Okay.
I was like, wow. I was like, good for you. They just big, the truck that comes and lifts it up, right, with the big, it's like a log grab on it, right? Well, they came and they just, literally just smashed it into the ground and then roped it off to the broke off bit, put the new guy wire on and said, here you go, here's your wires and have a nice day. But the one down the road from me, it's at the bottom of the hill and all the water runs down there, and that one is, they're constantly having to come and put that one back up because it just falls out of the ground.
Hey, so PCG, welcome to the stream.
Rain around here.
Good to see you.
If you ever really know, there's a schematic. If you have a 45-foot pole, 5 foot goes into the ground, and then 5 or 6 inches, half a foot for every 10 foot the pole is. So
I get they don't concrete.
So it's 7 foot. Yeah, it's 7 foot down, and then you fill it up. You drop it, and then you fill it with gravel the size of the hole. And the hole is really only supposed to be about 3 to 6 inches, 3 to 5 inches wider than the base of the pole.
Right.
And then you just tamp in the gravel as you're filling it in. That thing's supposed to not move at all once it's in and vertical.
Like, I guess they have to sway, a little bit and all that, so they don't break. But
I think we're going to be in and out of the rain the entire trip.
Yeah.
We're in that part of the world.
Do you got your proper heading, Draco?
I took off from a different and turned to a different direction to intercept. So I'm kind of following the flight route on active sky.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You guys.
Yeah,
Intercept.
we're not like complete noobs any longer.
Good for you. I was talking about you guys when I live streamed the Aer Lingus flight. I was like, God, they're massive idiots. Know how to fly. Oh. I obviously didn't say that.
No, because I actually was watching that.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch it live, but I watched it like on tape delay. I watched it like 2 hours later till you.
Oh, did you watch the part where I
till your game crashed
on the screen and
yeah,
an FSX crashed? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course it did. FSX, not the most stable thing ever, obviously. So, and that was a good flight too. Then I had to do it all over again. But
I was then trying to pay attention to it because with you trying to throw stuff in the FSM, FCM,
now you got me screwed up. The FMGC, Flight Management Guidance Computer.
Yeah.
I call it the FUC.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I know, because it doesn't have a big crank on it. You don't have to yell into a big cone. Put more coal in the boilers, you suckers! You got a bunch of 12-year-old kids downstairs with little flat caps downstairs, and you're playing shoveling coal into a boiler. Oh.
Yeah, that does sound like Draco's crew.
Yeah.
Or it's the
and yet I still keep up with you.
Oh.
And yet I still keep up with you all.
You know what's funny? I could not fly one of these. Well, this beach, I have this. I can probably fly this. But those crank, fucking turn a knob and twiddle a thing planes, I couldn't do this and fly one of those.
Okay.
There's no way.
Then you would have really had fun in that Beaver last night.
I flew that thing. No, the Goose. I flew the Goose one time. I couldn't see over the cowl, you know what I mean? No matter how high I put up the seat. And I'm like, I can't see where I'm going. How am I supposed to fly this? The big flap knob thing that's like,
yeah.
I must have flew half an hour with my flaps down because I couldn't figure out how to put them up.
Well, we had to figure out, we wanted to fly on a heading. So we're trying to turn the knob to get to the heading. Well, no, it's a 360-degree turn on the heading thing. But what it does is it centers you on the direction you want to be. 0 is where the direction you're headed. So if you wanted 30-degree turn, you turn it 30 degrees.
Right.
And then
instead
it comes
of
back to 0. Yeah.
Right.
And it's like you should have heard about 3 monkeys getting ready to go, this plane sucks, chuck it out the window. But
you get so spoiled with like all the automation, you know what I mean? I mean, honest to God, it really is 400 feet autopilot. If you've got everything configured correctly, sit back, right? Monitor. You get spoiled with that. To be able to have to actually fly something, shit.
What's going on Saturday, PCG?
Cylinder head temperature is getting a little warm. Nothing I can do. Not much I can do about that. Got my cowl flaps open max. You fly.
You could climb.
I am climbing.
Oh, okay. You could level off for a minute. You're in a hot part of the world, too. Instead of being a cylinder head temperature. Jet engines don't have cylinder heads. What are you trying to find up there? A Chevy?
What was the last time you had to get that?
Yeah, I'm at
monitor and go.
I've never had a plane with a cylinder head.
I'm at 12.8. The temperature outside's still 7 degrees.
Yeah, it's hot. It's probably humid too. What's the dew point? Anybody know what the dew point? I bet the dew point.
Dew point just popped up. I think it's like 21% or 21 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Yeah, I just started flying the Airbus aviation. Well, not just. I've had it forever, but I just started flying it again because I've been flying, 777s and 747s, things like that for my VA. But I decided to start doing more short haul stuff. Airbus is a great plane for streaming because you really don't have to do much. Get it configured correctly, and off you go.
So it's a BP thing. Get it started, get it up in the air, then talk the whole time, and then show up and land.
Yeah, and land it. That's basically it. And I didn't even land this. I let it land itself, which I've never done. That was the first time I'd ever done that. It was weird. It was really weird, but it did a great job.
I pictured you like this, trying to sit on your hands or keep your hands behind your back so you don't grab that stick.
I shut my control. I put my control lock. There's it's a physical thing. You snap down over the joystick on this Warthog, and I put that on so I wouldn't accidentally like yank the stick back and make the plane do something stupid. Because I was like, okay, it's gonna do all right. It's gonna do all right. It's gonna do all right. And it did. It probably landed a little hard. I don't know. I wouldn't know what I can't guess what the landing rate was, but it was. Hey, it did it. So. And that is standard operating procedure most of the time. So, we could, yeah, we could. I've been looking for somebody to do shared cockpit in the aerospace, but just know that I'm not. I'm one of two things. I'm either like super like I will go off every checklist. Or I'm like whatever, twiddle that knob, flip that switch, let's get in the air. I'm one of those two things. So it depends on where I'm flying. If I'm flying somewhere with Vatson, I tend to be more like I don't know, professional, I guess. If I'm flying for my VA, I'm always, because I'm a representative of the VA, right? Like every VA pilot is, so I tend to be a little bit more professional. But if I'm just screwing around, I don't know.
Yeah, BP, you should have seen us last night trying to deal with icing conditions with a plane with no de-icing system.
Which means descend, or speed up, or...
Well, you had mountains that were right below the bottom of the cloud, so you either flew in the cloud, or you crashed in the mountain, or you iced up. So we decided on all three. We just sort of.
But with the beaver, was this with the beaver? Or?
Yeah,
that was with the beaver. Yeah.
You couldn't get down below the thermal.
Clouds.
Get down,
No, clouds in the mountains were sort of.
It was clouds in the mountains.
Is that what that thing looks like? I have that, and I could never figure out how to use it because all my planes have weather radar. I didn't know how to use it. How do you actually even get to it?
I had not heard that, PCG.
You have to put it into the game, and then have it come up as one of your shift keys.
Okay.
And it will default to shift 5, or you do like I did, which is set it so it shift and the last number available. If you've got 4 of them used, then it's 5. Yeah. And then you have, your weather stations, airports, your route. You can turn your route off.
Now, once that's open, you can actually click on those LSKs. You don't have to do anything else. You can just click on that thing itself.
I just turned off the route thing. You should be seeing it here in a second. I'll turn it back on.
Yeah.
You can do the cloud cover.
Well, it's actually got 2 modes. It also has like an active radar mode for just weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously, I have that. I have Active Sky 16 too, and I knew about this thing, and I've seen it, but I didn't ever use it because, most of my planes have weather radar, but there is the odd plane that doesn't, and I'm like, that would be handy because it's a pain in the ass to have to keep. What I should have done was put Active Sky on the Abacus and network them. If I want to go see, I don't know, the weather 100 miles ahead of me or whatever, that's handy. That's cool. I tell you what, Active Sky's awesome. I've been using them for a long time. You can't beat them. They're the best weather engine.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
I had just enough to catch it on the last. It was just on sale that ended on the 12th, and I had like 4 pennies and $1, and I left after. And I'm like, don't tell the wife I'm spending this.
Oh shit! I knew I forgot to do something.
I had a plan. I go. Did you crash already?
Nope, I forgot to turn my pitot heat on, which means I got icing. So I also have to turn my anti-ice for my wings and my propellers on too. Draco, what are we going to do with you? You don't fly that plane for like 2 weeks, then. Well, I just happened to look down and I was like, why the hell is my indicator saying 0 knots?
because your pitos
yeah.
froze up. You know your instruments are going to work.
Well, I flipped the switch. It's coming back now.
I don't know. I'll let you know. You know, ask these guys. I'm not the most social person in the world, but you know, shared cockpit is something that I tell you what. I know he's not interested, but I swear the next time I have a spare $100, I'm buying Farmer Dad FSX and the Airbus, and we're just gonna have a laugh because it'll.
I've been wanting to do the same thing. He
doesn't know
that,
anything about flying, so it'll just be funny. You know, it'll be cool. I play stuff with I played at Minecraft where I stood around and went right. I don't know what anybody's doing. So
and the whole time he was explaining you in great detail exactly what you should or could and inside and out and
any of it. So and I'll be doing the same thing in a plane. Twiddle this knob. Farmer Dad.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So doing videos the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Recording.
I'm not gonna be streaming every day anymore because I'm so fed up with the crap I've been putting out. It's just awful. It's just lazy.
That's cool. It's cool.
Right,
lazy. I don't want to be going and looking for and expecting and then go, oh, that's right.
Yeah. What you will see
from the horse's mouth.
You will see Monday. Now the big like Old Ridge and Drummond are not changing. Okay, Old Ridge is still going to be live, and people who think it's too long, well,
okay,
I'll edit it. You can watch if you. So I get it. I get it both ways. I get people who say, well, it was, it was 2 hours. You cut it down to 9 minutes. It wasn't long enough. Okay. Then I get people saying, well, I can't watch a 2-hour video. Okay. So if you can't watch a 2-hour video, I'll cut it down to 9 minutes. You watch it on YouTube. If you want to watch 2 hours of it, you go to Twitch and watch the VOD on Twitch. There's your answer. But those two will always remain the way they are. Especially Drummond. It's too much fun. I'm not going to Drummond is awesome now. I love it, and I'm not changing that.
So you got what's going on in Drummond? You got Mike and Roy and them going over for stuff on Drummond this week, or? Yeah,
this coming Monday. Hey, are you going to be around?
Well, Mike will be available. I mean, I won't, but Mike will be available.
Okay.
Just to confuse the hell out of everyone.
Right. Okay, so you're not going to physically be there, is what you're telling me.
I will be there.
Well, I mean, if you can, it's cool. It's tillage now anyway. It's all tillage. We got so much. Every field has to be mucked and plowed, and we're not mucked because we'll run out of muck. But anyway, Anyway. The Airbus is a good plane. The Aerosaf Airbus is a good plane. The FS Labs is probably better system-wise, but to me, an Airbus is an Airbus. I'm not going to drop money on another Airbus. You know what I mean? So I will drop money on an Airbus when a good big Airbus comes. And not a black box. God, those are awful. But
so anyway, Mike just put in my chat about my plane, about how they have the Pratt & Whitney or our 4360 Wasp engines, and he's right. They weren't the most reliable engines. If you ask me, they should have gone with Rolls-Royce or something like that, or the same type of engines that they used in the P-51.
Weren't they Merlins in the P-51? Rolls-Royces.
Rolls-Royce Merlins.
Yeah.
But, it being Boeing, and they probably had a surplus of Pratt & Whitneys laying around after the war, so they just slapped them on rather than buying new ones. If I remember right, those are the same engines that they used for the B-29 Super Fortress.
See, now there's something you get from these guys that you're not going to get from me. That whole last 2 paragraphs was to me. I have no idea about that. What kind of planes are in what kind of engines are in your plane? I have no idea. Hold on, let me push a button and find out.
Yeah, that's Draco with that type of knowledge. I know the Dash 8 has the Rolls Royce, but that's about all I know. I wouldn't know any other plane.
I will tell you, the Airbus that I flew the other day was an IAE. I don't know what that means. I know there's an IAE, there's a CFM, and then there's the NEO, which really isn't a thing. But I don't know what it means. I know CFM is Pratt & Whitney. I don't know anything else. I know my 777 has GE engines in it. My 747 has Rolls-Royce engines in it. That's all I know. So, yeah. Apparently I know a little bit. But
I kind of can't help. I mean, I don't know much about civilian aircraft, but I know a lot about military aircraft, especially World War II era.
Hey, that's cool though. If that's what you're into, then that's cool. You know, that's the whole idea. So.
Well, actually, the C-97 is the military version of the B-377, Mike. And there was the C-97 and the KC-97, which was the tanker.
Which is the one that I tend to fly when we're doing that plane, because I have that one as a free mod, and it just sort of works. Actually, that's the plane that I've crashed the most. Okay, I know that's a 2.5 hour flight, and I don't even speak during any of it on the last video. But the landing and that thing was my best flight overall, because I just flew it. Takeoff was nice, landing was nice. It was just slightly off center to the left, but I brought it in, floated it right down onto the runway. I was impressed with myself, whether you guys watched or not.
I'm amazed that with your 4 FPS that you can land anything. I tell you what, I had to turn on all those thousands of hours on the Abacus flying, right? And I did a lot of flying on the computer before the Abacus too, before I ever did any of this stuff. And all those hours on the Abacus were honest to God. You know, what's your texture resolution set at? Like 1 pixel equals 400 miles. Because I can't, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the config tweaking it the other way. Everybody's trying to make it look better. I'm like, how do I make it look worse? I need at least 20 FPS to fly.
Alright, cylinder head temperatures are coming down now.
I have no interest in the A380, none whatsoever. And I get British Airways flies the A380, and they fly it to Chengdu now, which means I can't fly the 74 to Chengdu anymore, but I can still fly it to Hong Kong and Singapore, so I'm happy. If somebody makes a good A380, if like, it isn't going to be Aerosoft because they're working on their new A320s, the new versions of the A320s. But if somebody like, I don't know, PMDG, but they're only ever going to do Boeings. I don't know, who does here? If FS Labs decided that they wanted to tackle an A380, then I would probably fly it, because it is a fairly amazing plane. You know what I mean? But the thing about the A380 is I would want it to be fully detailed. I'd want it to have a cabin, because that's where I spend most of my time. You know what I mean? And I'd want to fly the Emirates one with the, yeah. I'd want to fly the Emirates one with the apartments up on the top, up on the second deck. You know, shit, you're gonna be in a your A380. You're flying for at least 10 hours, so might as well do something fun while you're on. I've been flying smaller stuff lately. The A320s, the A319s. Going to do the A318 from London City to Shannon, and then from Shannon to JFK, probably this weekend. I've been flying the 737 NG, well, the NGX, a lot. I forgot how good that plane was. So
he didn't he just say he's been flying the small planes, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, those are small compared to a 747 or a 777. Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, man, dog.
I'm like, I have to work up to get to that.
Well, you've been flying this screw job for a while now. I think it's time. It's time to move up today. We guys now listen, Draco. You admitted it. You said you flew the 757 the other day.
Yeah.
So see.
And I enjoyed it for the most part.
It's all in what you like. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm used to. I've been doing it for so long that I'm just used to it.
I like for there to be things for me to constantly be doing and looking at. When I'm in the 757, it's like, okay, there's nothing for me to do once I'm at altitude until it's ready for me to, you know.
Well, so you know what you do then, right? This is what you do. You go to YouTube and you search bipolar profit. And that will fill up those lonely hours in the sky. That's what I do. I have seen it. Yes, I watched a video on it not too long ago. Actually, it's pretty impressive. You know, again, it's a complete unnecessary luxury. The Airbus was never. You could put 900 people in that plane. You know what I mean? So look at Air India. You know what I mean? They do everything but strap them on the wings. So other Indian stereotypes are available. But you know, it's hey, if you're Emirates and you have that kind of money, shit. You might as well do it. Though. Like Emirates doesn't derate anything. How long your engines last? Who cares?
I actually have a little bit of a tailwind, so I'm.
How fast are you going, Draco?
My ground speed is 283. Airspeed 199.
Don't listen to this, BP. It's too slow for you.
I'll fetch you 8.
Well, I dropped it back to 200. So maybe
speed
you can
over the
catch up.
ground is what's going to determine how long, you know what I mean, how long you sit there. So I hit 685 knots in a 747 over the ground the other day, and I was trying to get to 700. The only way I could have done it was to pitch down, and I'm not going to pitch down at 38,000 feet. So I was like, oh, come on. I had 105 mile an hour tailwind. I'm like, come on, you can do it. I got nailed though. I got in 45 minutes early, blew my conformance right out of the water. I was like, damn it. I can't, what can I do about it? I slow down as much as I could. So, and then after a while, it just came, come on, I want 700 knots. Bellins did it once, and I'm like, I want 700 knots, and I couldn't get it. So,
what's your distance to end of flight?
Who are you talking to?
3.5.
Either of you two. 3.5 weeks. 300. Not too far off on that.
394 nautical miles.
394.
That's less than an hour.
Hold on, let me get my map out. I can tell you.
Well, you're doing 300 knots over the ground, so if you only got 300 miles to go, it's an hour.
390, and he's doing 300,
hour.
so it's an hour and
Unless you got
15 or 20.
Drive over there somewhere, so
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm a little bit ahead of you, Zig.
Yeah, I saw that.
If we undock this thing,
A little
pop
bit
it
of a
back
left,
over here.
little
So
left
the
facing.
big white plane is me, and then I'm assuming the plane on the track is Zig, and the one further back is Draco.
Is me. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you get your cylinder head temperatures under control?
Oh yeah, they're like 173.
Did you have the little children in the back come and blow on them? Bring more ice, children! No, or you don't eat.
You could have them talking about other stuff there, Draco, or you could have them talking about this. Which one do you want?
Oh, you've all made fun of me in this plane for so long, I don't even listen. I've become immune to it.
You are welcome to come on when I fly and make fun of me. It's okay.
Hey, I gave you shit the last time you flew.
Yeah, you sure did. It doesn't bother. Whatever. I mean, I got up to smoke a damn cigarette during the climb. So, yep, plane's doing just fine. I'm gonna go have a cigarette now. So.
This is my representation of what he's flying.
Yeah.
This is the Strato Cruiser tanker. Draco's actually flying a Stradivarius.
A Stradivarius. It's flying.
No, it's a Stratocaster.
Stratocaster, that's it.
Yeah, I'm about 27 miles behind Zig.
See, that's not. Why is it wearing a belt? Or is that a thong? It's a good-looking model. You said this was. Is this freeware? You guys said.
That's
Is this
freeware.
the freeware one? That's a good model for freeware.
That's what I can fly. It's the freeware one. Join FS. That's the closest thing I can have to his without it going and buying his. And then the Dash 8 that Zig is flying, for some reason it's off and it's showing the DC6. So.
Oh, you in the Crash 8 now, Zig?
Yeah.
Oh, but it shows a DC6 because you don't have a model.
I don't. I have one. It's the generic one, but it didn't sync up correctly. I had changed it to that because we were flying something else the other day, and I wanted it to look closer to representation. But
do they have model matching on that FS whatever it is?
yeah,
Right.
they do.
It kind of
They
sucks
do.
sometimes, though.
Yeah. If it's not the exact plane that you have, then it
Right.
puts in, and then
Well-
you go, okay, 2-prop engine. I want it to be, yeah.
And then it doesn't care what 2-prop engine you're flying. If you put in, say, 2-prop engine -8, and you're actually flying, you know, a C-47. If you don't have that C-47, it'll show you a -8.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, it's the same thing on VTSIM though. Like I wouldn't say. I use a certain set of models anyway, because they're the most complete ones, and even occasionally it turns everything into Embraers. Like you'll be sitting at a airport somewhere, right? On a stand getting ready, and all of a sudden somebody will call in and be like, blah 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 blah, and you'll turn around to see where they are, and you'll swear they said, when they ask aircraft type, you'll swear they said, I don't know, say a A310 or whatever. You look over and be like, that's an Embraer, and that's an Embraer, and so is that, and so is that. God, good job, auto matching, thank you. So, makes a zero difference, in the long run.
Now, BP, since you do VTSIM and you have Active Sky 16, did you have to turn down your wake turbulence because for some reason VTSIM treats every plane like it's a 747, no matter, even if it's a Cessna taking off?
Yeah, that's a known thing with VTSIM. I don't know that I've noticed a real issue with it. You know what I mean? Because I'm usually in the big plane, so I don't really notice it too much. But I've seen it. I've seen guys take off and all of a sudden just go, bounce off the runway because of it. And it's not subtle, and it's not, particularly realistic. But
Well, that depends. If it's Draco or Zig landing, it might actually be them bouncing off the runway.
Yeah, that
you
is
guys
possible.
are going to get wake turbulence in these things. Although that -8 will definitely kick up some turbulence. That's a turboprop. I mean, those things are spinning. You ever see a real -8 take off? Zig?
No.
Watch a video of a real you watch them, like, go to I can't think of the guy's website, but just search like plane spotting, right? And I watch this guy from he does Manchester a lot, Manchester, England, because a lot of -8s fly out of there, and they're spinning so fast that they look like they're not spinning at all. It's really cool. I mean, it may not be cool when you're sitting in the plane watching, but when you're on the ground, it's really neat. I really enjoy that.
I watched a video of a -8 in the cockpit.
Yeah.
With them flying. And
Imagine being a first-time flyer in a -8. You look out the window and you don't even see a prop. You just hear the engine spinning.
You know what'd be even more terrifying for me about how small those are? It's having to go to the bathroom on a -8. I mean, say the bathroom is, the door is the size of my monitor. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you even get in there?
I'll be right back.
Speaking of going to the bathroom.
The bathroom, yeah.
Children, get up here and hold this stick while I go to the bathroom.
Aviation had mentioned that, he's going to bed.
Yeah, good night.
And smoking's bad for you, BP.
Listen, I say it every day. Don't smoke, kids. Very bad.
Yeah.
But I'm 50 years old, and if I want to smoke, I will.
You're allowed to. And if you ever decide to give it up and quit, I'm sure you'll just go, I'm done, and set it down and walk away from it and never pick it up again, right?
Yes. And as soon as I have my first heart attack, that's probably what I'll do. Now, see all this talk about smoking, I need a cigarette.
Yeah. You know what I could do? I could go see what your plane looks like by going to your stream. Okay, why does it throw up Draco but not Zig on my list of people?
Okay, so a BKK. I want to be at, I'm just going to put it at 1600. Why can I not remember how to do this?
PCG, I did hear that. That's one of the things, and to be honest, if you had a planet getting that close to us right now, we'd already be having worse than just, storms right now. Gravity is a real thing.
PCG, come over to your stream because mine's buffering so damn bad tonight.
No, I went to your stream I went to your
Oh,
stream.
that was like a week ago. That he
YouTube has
said.
been awful the last couple days.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's YouTube. It ain't you. It's YouTube. I couldn't even connect to YouTube the other day.
No
For
kidding.
like 25 minutes, nothing was live on YouTube. Nothing. Nobody.
I mean, I don't have the best internet, but there for a while, if I was like restart my router before we streamed, you know, I would be green the whole time, and then all of a sudden, now it's been crap the last 4 or 5 streams.
Yeah, it's YouTube. I think because
I think
like, even
YouTube's
me-
screwing with their stuff again.
Even me, like I just uploaded. It's just finished now. 19-minute video. It took fucking 25 minutes. Should have took 19 minutes. You know what I
Why
mean?
do I have a video output, low output? YouTube, go mess with Zig, not mine. Dang.
I mean, YouTube's getting to the point where they're having issues where people are abandoning YouTube and going over to Twitch.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about having a rethink about how much. The thing is, I've been on YouTube for so long. I don't know. I may not stream on YouTube anymore. The restreaming thing is cool and it's nice, and I know people like to be able to watch on either one. And I'll keep doing it as long as YouTube, keeps working. But if this keeps happening, I may just stick to Twitch because as weird as Twitch can be, it always works. So, is that ice on your windshield?
Well,
Or is that just
It's
condensation?
no, it's condensation, and I'm looking at the radar on the other screen. I'll actually pull it over and show everyone why I'm deciding to go up, so I can get above it, only because I can.
Well, the thing is, I won't mention the streamer by name, but we've all seen, we all heard what happened with a certain very popular streamer, and YouTube did absolutely nothing to him. Yet, you let one little bit of music get into a video, and they jump down your throat.
Yep. That's the sole reason I'm part of an MCN is my music is copyright free, will always be, and if it isn't, that's on them, and they have to deal with it, not me. So. Yeah.
So BP, Mike said it could be Hurricane Jose that's causing problems. He said a
could
couple
be.
people that he knows that live on Long Island had connectivity problems today.
Yeah, the server that I connect to is in New York, so it could very well be. It could very well. You guys too, even though Zig's in, Festus. I'm gonna be able to say that without laughing someday.
I know.
Not today.
I felt that one coming as soon as you started. Even though Zig, I'm like, oh, here it comes.
He's still connected to New York too. So, speaking of New York, fellas, YouTubers, do you know that there's a YouTube space in New York in Times Square that anybody who makes YouTube videos can use? You go in there, and they have a studio. Well, they have many studios, and you can sit down there and make like a video in the YouTube studio. It's pretty cool.
Well,
And
it would be worth just going to find out, huh?
I'm gonna go check it out. Yeah. Well,
I really need to fly this
if you
plane
have
more
plans
often.
to do that, and it's not like this week.
Jesus Christ.
Excuse me. I got that sneeze, I think, before it sneezed.
Sorta.
No.
Kinda.
Right, sort of. Yeah.
Halfway.
Before it got bad, which is the end. If you do that, let me know, because I might be interested. That'd be a good meetup before we have to put up with each other for a few hours on a plane.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Probably won't be till
right away. Yeah.
next year sometime, but
Oh,
it's
well,
only
Mike,
3
it
hours
was-
to me to New York. So
Mike, it was the Yankees and Twins. Nobody really cared that much that they got delayed.
nobody in New England cared anyway. Oh, the Yankees did get to play. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, after the Yankees found out they can't buy championships anymore, they quit being relevant.
And because I know nothing about baseball, I can't get involved in that conversation whatsoever. Derek Jeter was a Yankee. That's all I know. Oh, that's really all I know about baseball. Oh, and we won a World Series a couple of times finally after 100 years. So we're not special anymore either. So you guys are now starting to edge towards the ever fun OOMs. Have you guys had any? Have you had an OOM yet?
A what?
out of memory error?
Oh.
No.
You
No.
will. You will. Keep throwing all these add-ons at it. I had one the other day flying into Schiphol. Oh, Amsterdam. Aerosoft's no, Fly Tampa's Schiphol, which is even more detailed. Flying out of a massively detailed Heathrow. Yep, got all the way up through the flight and everything. Right, immersion's working, active sky working, my clouds are working, everything's beautiful. Right, flight was going very well. I go to turn to final and. Your computer has run out of available memory. Oh, yes, of course it has. Thank you. Oh, yep. Oh,
and I'll never understand why Microsoft developed a game that would only use 2 GB of memory and then stop.
Because it was developed back when people were standing and followed a man named Jesus. That's why. No, it's fucking it's Flight Simulator BC, man. Come on. That's why. How many? Who had a 64-bit system in 2006? Nobody. So
who even knew what that was?
Right, 64-bit. Oh my God. If you want a 64-bit system, drop the $1,000 on P3D version 4. You'll never get another LOWM again. So that's the only way you're going to do it. Either that, or you turn off your add-ons. Like if you're flying, I don't know, if you've got a bunch of heavy airports in, right, and you're not flying to any of them, disable them in your scenery library. It kind of helps.
It kind of helps.
See, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever go to P3D. The only reason why is because I don't want to have to buy the 377 again.
That's what's killing me about. I want to go to it because I'm going to have to. If I want to keep flying, I'm going to have to. But man, the damn outlay of add-ons is just ridiculous.
Well, not only that, but also Active Sky, and also Air Hauler.
Active Sky will actually give you a discount to go to P3D. Aerosoft will give you well, you don't have Aerosoft planes, but if you did, Aerosoft will give you a discount. Orbex, I think it is too. I think you can download whichever version you have. I think once you own Orbex, I think once you own Global, you can download the P3D version as well. I believe you'd have to check.
I think before I got it, I kind of read a few posts about that, and from what I understand, that might be the case.
You download both of them, fuck it.
But here's the huge downside to P3D that you never hear. It runs almost completely off of your CPU. It does hardly utilizes your GPU.
Flight Sim, that's Flight Sim. That's the way it works. You know what I mean? That's just Flight Sim in general. Look at your CPU usage versus your GPU usage. Like you guys should get a VAS monitor, the little overlay that sits down the bottom of your screen to tell you how much memory you're using. Guarantee you're using all of it. Like what is it? 3 gigs, right? Is that the maximum? You're using all of it, probably. So that's just how it is. That's unfortunately the way it is. The only way it gets better is
3 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
I am using 6.2 gigs of memery, and my CPU is at 60%.
Right. But you're using 6 point something gigs altogether, not just the phone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's a good thing I got 12 gigs of memory then.
Like, people ask me all the time, well, you only have 8 gigs of memory, right? Flight Sim isn't going to use it all, so why do I need more? I need more for other games, not for Flight Sim.
Yeah.
I just don't have the about $6,000 it would cost me to switch over to P3D Professional so I could actually make videos of it, first of all. Second of all, to buy all the add-ons again. I'm not doing it. I'll go to X-Plane first. That's what I'll do.
Are you guys getting buffered around and thrown around as much as I am?
Not at the moment.
Not yet, but I haven't gotten into the storm yet.
I'm skirting right along the edge of it.
That's what I thought.
I was seeing some nice lightning.
Yeah, I'm seeing some lightning, but
I'm in it.
Whoa! You are yawning all over the place. You may want to get out of that.
I'm trying to climb over it right now.
Climbing over it may not have been the best option considering the turbulence here. Ooh. That's going to be a fun flight in the back.
I put seatbelts on. No smoking.
They're used to it in Moondog's plane. The oxygen bags have probably dropped already. The oxygen masks.
Breathe normally.
Are you kidding? They've fallen in his plane so many times they don't even bother putting them back anymore.
They just leave them hanging.
People just walk through them like they're walking through beaded curtains.
Okay. I'm back there looking at it. Does anyone see?
He's
No,
back
they're
there
up.
looking.
Looking at it modeled.
They are.
They're modeled.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
we've
I
seen
can drop
them. Yeah, we've seen them. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think if I do that, and then go back there,
That's funny.
there they are. Just gotta wait for the stream to catch up.
Wow, you'd be dead by the time they actually fell from the ceiling.
Well, no, you gotta look for. I went forward, pulled the knob, went back. See, they're hanging.
You actually have to pull a knob.
Well, I mean, I could drop them, but
He could drop his sack if he needs to.
that is a massively useless detail, but it's cool. That's funny. Because that's what I'd be thinking about while my plane was, yawn 90 degrees left and right. I'd be thinking about pulling the oxygen masks. That's cool.
Well, they do deploy automatically, do they not?
they're supposed to.
Because
I think at a certain,
Yeah.
if I remember right,
Right.
early on in our flying adventures, there were some times that they deployed without
Which
you
I
deploying
think
them.
It came with the flying the altitude and not setting the pressure, cabin pressure, I do believe. So
No.
there's some pretty cool lightning.
Yeah,
And that's just off to my right.
yeah, it was nice. I can't remember how to set up my VNav in this plane. We really need to fly these planes more often. I haven't flown this thing in forever, and I haven't flown it enough that I can remember how to do everything.
VNav in the Dash 8, isn't it? You have to set it to the waypoint you want to be at the altitude.
Yeah, but I can't remember the right buttons to push to make that happen. I have like notes, but they weren't that specific. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? I made notes, but I didn't like
what is your
every.
yoke doing there?
I don't know. That's why I'm climbing still. So I figured I'd just put it on outside view until it finishes clearing out.
I don't remember either. Zig. It's been so long since
Yeah.
I've flown a Dash 8. I should
think-
fly that actually.
I think Zig's gonna get into some nasty stuff right on the very edge of it. Looks like-
I've already skirted past it. I'm flying right alongside of it. I've had some really nice lightning. I just, Draco sort of talked us into the active sky when we were doing, hey, Brazil Commander, welcome to the stream.
I
When
didn't
we were
exactly talk you into it.
No, but you made it suck for the rest of us when we were hurricane hunting, and you could actually find a hurricane, and we couldn't. You could actually find rain. I was flying through the hurricane with clear blue skies. Draco's got rain and hail and clouds. I'm like, okay, that's it.
Wind shear.
Me and Moondog, the next couple days, were like, all right, we're getting it, and it's
Well,
awesome.
it's the time to buy it. I mean, it was on sale.
It was on sale, and it's amazing.
I was lucky. I got the discount from having Active Sky Next. So when the 16 came out, I only paid $22 for it, I think. So.
Well, the other thing that was really helpful too is that since we had gotten Air Hauler and they had gotten a couple other things from
Just Flight.
Just Flight, they give you points that will take money off of your next purchase. So I think my points took like an extra $2.80 off.
Do you know how many points I have from between FlightSim.com and and I never used them.
Oh.
What? You never use them?
I never used
If you're
them. I
talking
never
about these
remembered
switches
using
here, these are the cow flaps, Mike. Basically, they help keep the engine cool, and when the cylinder head temperatures are okay, I can actually close them a little bit.
them. Maybe I should use them on P3D.
They are
Can
actually
you get that
right
at Just
here on
Flight?
No.
I didn't think so. I didn't
No,
remember
you
seeing
gotta
that.
buy P3D. Lockheed Martin, you gotta buy it directly from them. Because it's not an entertainment product, so they don't distribute it. It kind of sucks, but whatever. I mean, eventually I'm going to have to. This is going to die. FSX is going to die. It's going to. It just will, and then that'll be the end of it. And then it'll just be, well, okay, now I don't have any choice. If you want to keep flying, well, it's either X-Plane and, you know, learn how to fly a Cessna, because it's really the only add-on for X-Plane, which is, of course, unfair of me to say, but... Or
with any luck, FS World becomes badass. And...
Oh, Dovetail, no, not interesting. It's just not. In fact, I'm stuck with Dovetail now, so I'm good.
I mean, they just did another update today.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, it looks good. It looks very good. Is anybody besides Alabeo going to do add-ons for it, though? Was it Alabeo or Coronado? One of those two were the only ones going to add on for it. So
not yet, but I think that a lot of the third parties are holding off until they're done constantly, you know, doing all the updates and everything.
I think they're done until until P3D version 5 comes out. And everybody has to drop another $400 on it.
Well, I mean, I can completely see why, you know, there's not a whole lot of add-ons right now, because, you know, with it being early access.
Sure.
Nobody wants to create a plane for an early access game and then turn around and have to constantly update it every time if they do something fundamental.
Well, plus I think there's something to be said for everybody going, Jesus, Dovetail actually going to do this one, or are they just going to drop it like they dropped Flight School? You know what I mean? Are they just going to say, nah, we're done. We don't like this one, so we're going to, you know, try again. We're going to create another game where we give you one plane and one airport and make you buy everything else.
I don't know. My gut's telling me that they're pretty dedicated to it.
I'm sorry. Am I being unfair to Dovetail?
It sounds like it slightly, but, you know, with you, it's hard to tell.
Not really. Dovetail to me is the cattle and crops of the flight sim world, so just saying.
Yeah. But with that being said, at least there's a game to be played with Dovetail.
There is actually a game. It exists, sort of.
Well,
no, I mean, it's fully playable.
There's a myth and some rainbow unicorns floating around that Cattle and Crops is an actual game, too. Well, nobody's ever seen it, but...
Draco has.
But I hear Bear Grylls and what's his face is out looking for it. Oh, who's the American survivalist that's looking?
Less.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's out looking for Cattle and Crops. I hear. So maybe.
No, he started looking for Bigfoot, and I just couldn't watching him.
Well, from what I understand, Bigfoot is actually a big supporter of Cattle and Crops.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard he put in a lot of money
on the Kickstarter. Yeah,
and you wonder why he's so mad and why he doesn't want to be seen. I wouldn't want to be asked that question all the time either. Hey, any chance you know anything about Cattle and Crops? No. No. That's why you hear the howling in the woods. I don't blame him. I'd be annoyed too. See, I don't need to stream. I can be funny on other people's streams.
You're welcome to stop by and attempt to be funny whenever you want.
Wow, attempt to be funny. Okay.
I'll be banned from BP's page before I even get done with the stream.
Nobody hangs out over there anyway. Who cares?
Well, I actually popped in today, and I was like, and I saw that there's a new, you know, kind of like welcoming page thing, and I was like,
yeah.
I wonder if he remembered to give me access to the general and everything. So I checked real quick.
Well, of course you did. Of course you do. You're in the group. You're in the Monkey Show group. So the only reason that welcome page exists is to stop. We had an influx of idiots. So I was like, well, that's
besides us, right?
Well, besides the general level of idiocy that I'm comfortable with. I mean, it's my channel, so ultimately it's going to be dumb. But you know, there was just some truly dumb shit going on, and I wasn't having it. So I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be hanging out tomorrow. Hopefully somebody else will be there to hang out.
We're gonna get knocked around here a little bit.
I'll be there after I get done coming back from Cleveland, so I'll be there about this time. I gotta put in some longer hours.
What time is
Although tomorrow's Wednesday, I don't know if I'm going to do a short day or a long day. I guess it depends if I want to really make sure these freaking fleas are out of my house and flea bomb. I haven't had any issues with them all week, but if you don't do it that last time,
yeah, it's always that. Yeah, if you have one flea in your house, you know what I mean, you'll have 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
Moondog, you got the pedal down or something?
I
haven't looked at the map here in a minute.
Because he is way out in front of us.
Well,
I took off and I've backed off, but you know.
I'm just trying to zoom in. On the ND, I'm like, I can't see how fast he's going.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'm about 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're right in behind me there.
Yeah, I think my plane just got struck by lightning. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just saw like lightning hit my plane.
No, well, I mean, you can be struck by lightning. But the plane.
Well, I'm in real life, but I don't know if it's a thing in the game.
No. You have no like damage on or all that, right? So you can't be damaged by weather. As far as I know, I mean, I've never had it happen because I don't turn any of that crap on because I fly in VATSIM, where occasionally people will spawn in on, you know, landing runways and things like that.
We have everything turned on except for aircraft collision.
Yeah.
Same thing because in join, you know, when you pop in, if you pick the same gate or something.
Right.
Yeah. Or you do like where we were just at, where there's active runway 18 or active runway 36.
Yeah.
Which is right.
There's no gates or parking.
Runway,
yeah.
Or like last night when I'm trying to figure out how to work the plane and I go blasting right through Moondog.
Yeah, we're on a water lake. Nothing to hit, except for me.
Except for Moondog's beaver.
Right through it, yeah.
Although I did make up for it by Tony Hawking in that plane.
So you punched Moondog right in a beaver, did you?
He did.
Slightly somehow.
What are you coming up to the coast of Thailand now there, Moondog? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I recognize it. I've flown over it enough.
I'll be right back. I need a refill.
Oh, no. Big ass Delta. Ugh.
So if we throw the radar back in there, I might be able to drop back down over from this.
Yeah, it looks like you're coming out of the storm.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, being 30, 40 miles further south than what you guys were going through that was not fun.
Not exactly having a bunch of laughs back here right now.
What altitude are you at, Moondog?
I went to 31.5.
I thought the service ceiling in this was like 24.
No, this is 34.
Oh.
Yeah, I have heavy turbulence and heavy rain back here.
But we are going to go down now. Not that key. That key, please. Thank you. Altitude, drop that back down to
2987.
At some point, I would very much like everybody who flies it, well, it would be us, obviously, to do some sort of group flight on VATSIM. Like, all fly out of the same airport and all fly to the same airport on VATSIM, which means we're going to be flying in Europe.
I don't know if I'm ready for that sim.
That scares me.
Listen, well, I get it. I get it. I do get it. Because obviously I don't remember my first VATSIM flight. I'm sure it was very bad, you know, but you got to think about it this way. This is the way I think about it. People, for some reason, people take flight sim like way serious, right? And I get it. It you know, you want to take it. It's a serious thing. But VATSIM, doing something on VATSIM is a lot like driving a truck in ETS multiplayer. Right?
Yeah, I see your point.
Don't be a dick, right? Follow the rules and have fun. It's just the confidence to say, you know, when you get a call, and it's just repeating back what the controller will tell you. You know what I mean? It's all it is. 90% of VATSIM, the only difficult part of VATSIM is the beginning when you file your flight plan and you call for clearance, and you'll get a string of stuff you have to remember to read back, but you write it down, you put it in your scratch pad or whatever, you know? And then the end bit where you're landing, where you get your landing clearance, is what your approach, I should say, not your landing clearance, because that's simple. You get your approach and you read that back, and then you just follow directions. If you're flying along and, you know, somebody comes on and says, you know, descend to X, you know, flight level, you twiddle your knob to descend to that flight level, and then you read back the instruction. It's really nothing to it. And without fail, every VATSIM controller I've ever dealt with has been awesome. They get it. They understand that at the end of the day, no matter what we want to call it, it's a game. And they'll laugh with you if you screw up. Oh,
I was listening to someone today on his videos, and he was doing VATSIM, and he was playing and running. I don't have a problem with doing that because I'm starting to understand it. I'm trying to follow the ATS in the game and just to get a handle on it. But I couldn't understand 3/4 of what they were saying. And it wasn't like they were Indian, you know, an Indian dialect or, you know, a heavy Scottish accent. If Stu was doing it, fuck, I'm screwed.
Yeah, okay? No kidding.
But we're going to go fly at Edinburgh then, because I'll introduce you to the Edinburgh controller who is, you think Stu's accent is
bad. Okay, granted, but that's what I'm saying. These were like English-speaking kids. Yeah. I'm like, please take the sock out of your mouth so I can understand you. That's really what I wanted.
That's VATSIM's VHF simulator. Everybody uses it. I don't, but everybody, in fact, I've never had a controller that didn't use it. So the sound quality of VATSIM is horrible because it's simulating what real pilots would hear. That's what you would hear.
If real pilots hear that, how the hell do they get anywhere?
Well, you sort of get used to it after a while. You pick out the bits that matter. You know what I mean? Oh. And if you don't understand something, you know, say again. That's all. Say again, please. You know, call sign, station, right? Whoever you're calling, say again, please. Call sign, and then they'll say it again. Thank you, and go about your day. That's it. I've done it a million times. You get especially in America. I haven't flown in America in a long time, but for some reason, the VATSIM controllers in America all want to be that guy Steve from New York, from JFK, and they all want to talk at 200 miles an hour. So I've been in a plane when I'm flying into JFK, you know, for 7 or 8 hours, and I'm a little loopy, and I'll be like, okay, let's try that again, slower. I've been over the Atlantic Ocean for 7 hours. You're the first human being I've talked to in 5 hours. So,
hell, we've done that when we've been setting up the flights. Where were you going earlier, Draco? I mean, we said we were going to VTBD, and somehow it was like VNNK or something.
I put in VVBT, and it was like 3 hours away.
Aren't you going to VYKP?
Yeah.
Or you're going to Bangkok?
That's where. No, we left. Yeah, VTBD. Yeah. And it's like, no, come on. And then aviation pilot or studios, whatever he is in different channel. Aviation. He does this a lot, and he gets on me. You'll get on me. VTV. I'm like, the other day when we were flying somewhere, it was pony, swan, donkey, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's the correct letters, okay? It's not the correct names, but at least you can figure it out."
But see, you don't have to worry about that when you call an airport, right? When you call a controller, whether it's tower or ground or delivery or whoever's on, you call it by the name of the airport. You don't have to give them this phonetic bullshit. You give them, like, if I'm flying out of Bangkok, which I really want to do, so I can say the word very slowly, you would say, push your talk button, and you'd say in a clear voice, Bangkok Tower, this is, and hopefully you get a chuckle on the other end because you think you're funny. Give them your call sign, tell them what kind of plane you are, ask for your clearance. You don't have to worry about that. The only time you have to repeat back phonetic crap is if they give you a waypoint and it's a, if they say fly to, if it's a pronounceable one, they'll pronounce it. If it's not, they'll give you the letters, and then you repeat it back, Alpha, Kilo, India, X-ray, whatever, right? And then done. It's really, you just got to do it. You got to make, you know what you do? One of these days we'll have to do it. I'll walk you through how to download vPilot, how to get your models matched, how to connect and everything. You got to sign up for that. So it's very simple. And then we'll just all spawn into an airport somewhere and sit there and listen. That's what I did. I did it for like 3 days. I just sat in an airport and listened. You know what I mean? Never called in for clearance, never just PM the controller to tell them I'm just sitting here listening. And they're like, fantastic. So that's great. Enjoy your stay, you know? Because these guys, they want to have fun doing it too. So what's it, Squawk Charlie guy out of Dublin, or Shannon, or Cork, or wherever he, you know, controls out of, I don't know what day it is. He is fantastic. He is great. I love getting to talk to him. Like when he's on Oceanic and I'm doing the Atlantic routes and I get to talk to him, he's fantastic. We'll PM all the way across the Atlantic, man. Oh, he's great. So, how do you have an airport diagram on this thing?
Because this thing has it. It's
Really?
Yeah, it's the G1000. It has that in there.
Is one of you guys flying right over? One of you guys flying right over
me?
It didn't come with mine.
Well, I'm sorry. I bought the Flight 1.
Yeah, this is
King
the one
Air,
I have.
The King Air B.
Maybe it does, and I just didn't pay any attention, to be honest. I wouldn't know a G1000 from a...
Did you just fly over the top of me, Draco?
Yep. From a G unit. I wouldn't have any idea.
Yeah. But yeah, this came with the King Air
I see how you are, Draco.
That from there, and that's one of the once I started figuring it out, I was really enjoying it, but at the same point I was having it crashing all the time, and it was either a memory issue that I've corrected, or it was installed just slightly off, and I now know when I fly this one, which this flight it's still a little sketchy. I need to load this up in safe mode and load it up as the only plane so that the high end part of this is smart enough. It has the room to do it.
You should only ever have one high end plane loaded at a time anyway.
Yeah, and this is the only one that is this high end that I know that I have.
You don't ever want to. If you change planes for any reason, go all the way out. Quit the sim. Come back in. You know what I mean? These planes don't like to be loaded on top of each other. So,
this is the one I can't.
In it.
I think that was my issue because I was. Me and Moondog, we were gonna fly somewhere, and I was gonna fly the plane I'm flying now, but then we decided to fly the 577 or 757, so I just switched from this to the 757, and I could not see. I could see it from the inside, but my plane was invisible on the outside.
Yeah, it probably didn't load right. Yeah, because those planes, anything with any sort of depth or anything to it like that, doesn't even the stock stuff doesn't like to be loaded on top of each other. Like it stinks. You can't do a realistic leg. Like I can't. If you don't ever get out of the plane, you can. Like if I want to sit somewhere for 2 hours and wait for the turnaround, then I can do that. But if I want to simulate the turnaround by going out and coming back, well, you can't. You gotta quit all the way out, come all the way back in, load the panel state, get the plane back the way it was. Hope you remember what stand you landed on, and all that. So, but that's a nice little plane, though. It'll skin for it. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I was actually looking at how to do.
Just do it yourself because I'm never gonna finish it, Moondog. Let's be honest, okay? Let's just be honest. You believe me, what you make will be better than that. What half of what I made?
No,
because I'll probably never finish
that. I'm waiting for you to, because I pulled it into the paint thing that I have, that paint.net.
Yeah.
It could pull it up, but it's so compact and all that. I'm like trying to figure out how to get it just right, and I'm like, I keep screwing it up. I'm like,
well, there's only one layer that you paint on this. That much I know because I've obviously had to go with it. It's only one layer, so you only need that one layer showing.
Yeah.
And the way this works is it's a DDS, so it's mapped to the mesh. So as long as you get it on that one layer, it doesn't matter where else it is because it's only ever going to show. It's like painting a farm sim tractor, basically. It's only ever going to show up on that one part.
Okay, which is good, but I've never done that either. So.
Well, there you go. Have you ever painted a Euro truck?
No.
Anything in Euro truck? Okay. Well, all right. I'm out of examples now, Moondog.
So you see where I'm saying it's a little more difficult for me to do it because I haven't done any of it. But I am looking at I'm looking at the tail here.
Yeah.
the tail here, that's where I would like to have the my Moondog image, and then the rest of it can be sort of black with some
gold. The only thing with that tail is where that rudder is, because that rudder is obviously a separate object. That gap doesn't look big there, but when you look at it in the layer, it's pretty big. And I had to go. That was the first part I started, and I was having a hard time getting the logo to sort of line up. But,
and as you explain it that way, I'm looking at this going, well, why wouldn't it fit? Because I was trying to fit, and I'm trying to point to my screen and have you see it. That's real good.
Well, you know what it is because the inside of that rudder is round, obviously, right? Because it's a 3D object. So what happens is that the image actually goes inside. You know what I mean? It goes around the corner where you can't see it. So, and if you scale it down too much, it doesn't look right. I'll get it.
So I'm just trying to figure out.
I don't want to lose.
I was thinking alternatives.
What I don't want to lose is, like, luckily all the safety stuff, like the Beechcraft and all the don't steps and all that, all the little tiny graphical details are all their own layer. So no matter what I do to the actual plane, that stuff will still be there, which is cool. That's handy. It'll still, it'll still say Beechcraft on it. It'll still have the, the don't step and all that stuff.
So I'm thinking the next plane I get is going to be the PMDG DC-6.
Oh, you're really going to buy that, huh? Okay, yes, could you? Because I'd very much like to see somebody fly that. So, yeah, see, all that stuff is all a separate layer.
Yeah.
Didn't Frugal do that one?
Yeah, Frugal did it. I don't like Frugal. Well, no, let me not say that. I like Frugal. He's very, very good.
Why? What's wrong with the DC-6 from PMDG?
Massively. That is such a massively complex aircraft, especially with PMDG, where every single thing is modeled. You know what I mean? That plane models oil pressure and oil temperature and just hydraulic fluid and leaks and hoses stretching and compressing, and like every PMDG aircraft is so massively complex. It took me a month to be comfortable with the 777 before I ever took it out of European airspace. So, and that's simple compared to this thing. This thing's got so many knobs and dials and cranks. And you're going to need new little children for that. We just said.
Well, I mean, this plane, it simulates, oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel pressure. You can have a cylinder go out on you. You can have your hydraulics go out on you.
I was saying, have you seen the inside of that plane? Have you seen the
no, I haven't.
Of that plane? I couldn't make heads nor tails of it. Like I'm looking at it, I'm watching Frugal's video. I'm going, I think that's the altimeter, but I'm not sure.
But I can't imagine it's too much more. The layout's much different than this than the 377.
Probably not. If you're comfortable with it, then you'd probably be all right. But then you like that kind of stuff, so that's a big outlay of cash. You got to make sure you like it, Or if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna like it. Is the way you look at it.
Yeah, right.
Like I didn't think I was gonna like the 737.
Hi, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Looking to get back into FSX. How many people still play it? Quite a few.
4, 5 that I can count for sure.
Well, according to Bellins or Matt Davies, there are 6 people in the flight sim. So there's quite a few.
Yeah, there's
quite. I can count BP.
Not so much.
Matt. There's BP, Matt, Zig, Draco, myself. That's 5 already.
Right. So there's probably
Aviation, who's flown with us, and Mike. So that's 7. We're up to 7. We're almost at 10 already.
No, all right, don't scare somebody off who's looking to get into flying. It's actually a really good starter to get into.
It's not. Don't lie, Draco. It's horrible. Play Farm Sim. I'm telling you. No, this from a guy with 12,000 hours of play.
I mean, so I'll tell you, if you're on a budget, FSX is definitely the way to go. If you're not on a budget, go with Prepare 3D.
I'm pretty sure if you're on a budget, Flight Sim is not the way to go in general.
Oh, Prepare 3D is even more expensive than than FSX.
Any of them. It's not
You're
something
looking at
you should play if you're on a budget.
Well, with Prepare 3D, though, if you're going to get a plane, you're looking at an extra $10.
So the taper finished the basement today, or finished
for you.
finished sanding. He didn't finish the basement. He finished his part of doing all the sanding on the drywall. Another milestone.
And there
Finished
goes
sanding. Okay.
And there goes Zig off to my 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you think you can pass me? I'll show you.
I'm
waiting
flying
for you guys to catch up.
I'm flying within the specs of this plane.
I'm well within the specs of my plane.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Can I give this guy one piece of advice? From a guy who's been doing this for a very, very long time. If you're going to get into flight sim, buy FSX Steam Edition. Like Draco said, it's the best cheap way to get in. Learn to fly. Learn how to fly first before you start spending a lot of money on expensive, shiny stuff.
Yeah. Learn how to fly, then take your time and get your add-ons. Plane, whatever.
Right.
Do some research on what you want to do. I thoroughly enjoyed this plane, but I took some time before I picked one. And there's a couple others that we found that, you know, the Manfred Jan C-47, wow, that one is really good for free.
That's an amazing plane for free.
It is.
But,
it's unbelievable.
But to be 100% honest, you can't go wrong. I mean, if you're looking to get back into it and just starting off, FSX is the way to go. P3D has a lot of eye candy. It's a little bit more, it's a lot more optimized than FSX. But if you're looking for third-party stuff, stay away from
FS World.
FS World right now, and also stay away from X-Plane, because X-Plane doesn't have a whole lot of third-party support.
Well, okay, yes. It depends on what you want to fly in X-Plane. X-Plane has the best 737 I've ever seen. That IEGX 737. Now, it's not an NG, it's not an 800, it's not a MAX. It's the 300. But, it is so good. It makes such a good noise. It is so good. But again, you know, if you want to, and the cool thing about X-Plane, see, all these different sim platforms have their own sort of pros and cons. Flight Sim, FSX, has the biggest add-on support because it's been around the longest. P3D is massively expensive. Very well optimized, 64-bit now at version 4. You'll never get an out-of-memory error. Tons of add-on support for it because it's basically, you know, a shined-up version of FSX. X-Plane, on the other hand, has amazing night lighting straight out of the box. 95% of the scenery, airports, and things for X-Plane are free. You know what I mean? You can use Google Earth and Google Images to make scenery and stuff like that you can't do in anything else. So they all have their, pros and cons. You just got to. Flight Sim is like racing.
He says, just looking to have fun like the good old days. If you're looking for that, then FSX Steam Edition's the way to go.
The way to go. Go fly your Cessna, you know, do barrel rolls and shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's it. You know, don't drop $1,000 on P3D for that, because that's just if that's what you're into, it's a waste of money.
But the one thing, if you're going to get FSX Steam Edition, I will recommend that you get to go with it, and this will make BB's head explode, is get Rex 4.
Hey, Ramen.
Freeware shit out there than Rex. Did you saw my clouds the other day, right? Right, Draco? You saw them?
Yeah, and I'll admit they look really good.
10 years, they're free. You know what I mean? Now, yes, I use Orbix and all the alphabet letters. I use all that shit, right? You don't need it. You know, you don't. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't make you fly better. It just gives you something to look at when you're flying.
It gives you something to look at while you're monitoring
I will say if you're going to do a lot of VFR stuff, then probably getting the VFR stuff from Orbex is worth it because you're going to be low enough to be able to take advantage of seeing, you know, a house and a building and people walking around and stuff. You know what I mean? It's worth it in the long run once you're comfortable flying and everything, and you can look out the window. But if you're flying at 30,000 feet, you're going to see this. It's, you know what I mean? This is Orbix Global. Can you tell from up here? No, who cares? You know what I mean? So, and if you're like me and you do 90% of your flights in the middle of the night, you could be flying in a pillowcase. It doesn't matter. So
yeah, I mean, here I am. I'm 21, just a little over 21,000 feet in the air, and I can't see a tree. I can't.
Exactly.
I can't tell the difference between a tree and a rock from up here.
Are you guys using the FTX trees? Did you click that as one of your configuration options? Don't waste money on the HD trees because the trees that come with FTX Global are only slightly less HD than the ones you pay the extra $19 for.
Well, I dropped $4 a while back and got the add-on trees from Steam. And honestly, I don't see a difference between the in-game ones and these.
Yeah, there's very little difference. There's very little difference, especially at height. You're not going to see them anyway. Yeah. So it's just, it's really easy to get sucked into the trap of, oh, I have to buy this, I have to buy this, I have to buy that. You don't. You don't have to buy anything. You know what I mean? You can fly with default scenery, default equipment forever, and have a good time doing it. It just depends on how serious you get about it. I did it all wrong when I started flying. As soon as good add-on aircraft started to come out for FSX way back, I started to buy it. I started to fly for VA. I started to do airline stuff, and I'm like, well, you know, then I need this and this and this and this and this. And next thing you know, $6,000 and 10 years later, and
well, see, me, I like the immersion. I like clicking the buttons and turning the dials and
sure. Well, it's not like I do occasionally have to twiddle a knob, you know.
Well, I'm saying even in the 757, you know, I like, you know, being able to start the engines properly, and you know, and things like that. Where the in-game stuff, you know, a lot of times it's Control E. There you go.
Right. That's the one thing. That's the only thing that I would say. If you want to, like, I tend to play, even though you'd have to watch my channel to see how I play simulation games, but I tend to do it one of two ways. I'm either very serious, where I want to learn something from the simulation, because it's something I'm never going to do in real life, so I want to learn as much as I can about it in the sim. Or I just could be arsed to care and just do whatever anyway. So you have that option with Flight Sim, you know what I mean? You can learn, like, I know how to speak to air traffic control, I know how to fly a plane, I know how to file a route, I know how to plan a route, I know ETOPS, I know all this stuff, right? That I would never have learned in the real world, because I'll never be a pilot. It all depends on what you want to do. If you just want to barnstorm, fly around, then you can do that too. There's plenty of planes in FSX to do that with. So,
well, if Chris is still here, he's probably thinking to himself, "I just asked a simple question, and now these two won't shut the hell up."
Well, welcome to the Monkey Show.
Yeah, right.
We want to talk about steering wheels for a little while.
Yeah,
or flight sticks.
Yeah.
And don't get us started on cattle and crops.
There is only one flight stick, and that's the Thrustmaster Warthog. Just saying, there's only one. The only way I go from this to something else is if I bought a yoke, and I'm not buying a yoke because I'd have to move my steering wheel, and I don't move my steering wheel for anything.
So just out of curiosity, the other day I was actually looking at like the yokes and the panels and the throttle quadrant.
Yep.
I added it all up. By the time you were done buying all of that and the rudder pedals, you're looking at like $900.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I spent $20 on a stick, and I can do and I'm using my steering wheel pedals. I'm doing everything they can do.
Well, yes, but there is a significant advantage to having the correct equipment for the plane you're flying. Like when I fly a Boeing, I think I'd be a better Boeing pilot if I had a yoke, because the plane is designed to accept the input that a yoke will give you that you can't get from a joystick, right? I mean, yes, left, right, back, forwards, right? It's all the same. But with a yoke, it's weighted different. It feels different. You have, I think I would be a better Boeing pilot with a yoke. Whereas when I fly the Airbus, well, it's a side stick. So yes, it's perfect for that. But I'm not going to drop. The only thing I wouldn't mind getting, and this thing has a fantastic throttle on it, fantastic throttle. I wouldn't mind getting a flap lever. You know what I mean? So I could actually, go through the flaps correctly instead of just, pushing a button or scrolling my mouse wheel on the flap lever. But that's money
I
that
agree
don't
with
wanna
you.
spend.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the yoke, but I would sure like a throttle box. You know, because on this one and actually the business jets, the reversers.
Where? Yeah.
I can't throw this thing into reversers. I have to go down there, pan over here, and pull this
F2.
all the way back. Yeah.
F2. You can't put any throttle in FSX, and no, you can't. Trust me. I spent a month trying to set mine up to go into reverse. They don't ever go past idle. They just don't, unless maybe you use VJoy. Maybe I tried it with VJoy and I had it work sometimes.
All right, so he said all he wants, he was just wanting to get back into the F-18 and have fun with that. Then FSX is the way to go.
Done. There's an F-18 and FSX Steam Edition. Done.
Joystick controls all of it because it's a joystick.
It's
And
not.
you're looking at, I think you're looking at like what, $23, something like that.
Is it? Yeah, I don't even know how much it is, but yeah, that.
You can catch it on sale for $12, or I bought it for even less. I bought it for $7.50.
Yeah, Steep. Wow.
Yeah.
You spent 4, 5, 6, 7 times as much on that plane right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Fly it in. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh. I bought the box version of FSX about 1.5 million years ago for $35, I think, and I've spent $6,000 on stuff for it. So
what did I tell you guys about FSX? Oh, I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah.
You're like David. You're like Farmer Dad. He says the same thing. I'm telling you, the next time I have $23, I'm buying it.
I don't know. You guys are
like,
crazy for just flying there. I'd be bored. I wouldn't have anything to do. No, I'll just stick with the farming.
I was like, you know what?
And like the next day, he's like, "Can we go flying? Can we go flying? Can we go flying?" Well, okay, we do that for 3 days. I go, "What do you want to do today? Can we go flying? Can we go flying?"
I was like, you know what? For $7.50, that's less than 2 packs of cigarettes that I used to smoke on a bad day.
Right. What's the worst? It's
I think I'll take a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Several
if
$100 later.
$7. Right. But be honest. If it was $7 and you didn't like it, well, it's $7 for kids. How many games do you have in your Steam library you don't play? I have about 20.
Yep.
I mean, so whatever, right? I had FSX, and you know what I discovered? Like, if you look at my profile, I have 400 and something hours on FSX Steam Edition, and I'm like, how the hell is that? Well, you know
How
why?
did you get
I'm pushing like 300. Yeah, no kidding.
Listen.
Because I'm at 470 myself.
Listen, I'll tell you why. Probably, I have flown almost all of my VA flights on FSX Steam Edition for the last probably 3 weeks, but that still only adds up to about 100 hours. The rest of them, Steam reads my standalone FSX EXE. So every time I fly in standalone FSX, which I've been obviously done, a bunch ever since I bought FSX SE, it clocks the hours.
So it's clocking the box version along with the...
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
So when the game first came out, I bought the box version, and for the longest time I was I would play it and it would be perfectly fine, and then I'd put it away for probably about a good 2 years. Anyway, loaded it up one day, went to play it, and played it one time, shut everything down, and then after that, every time I clicked on the icon to run it, it would say that that the file path can't be found, and I would do everything. So finally, I got sick and tired of it, and it was on sale for like $12, and I just bought it on Steam.
I don't remember what made me buy this on Steam. I think because I was afraid that my FSX standalone was going to get to the point where it wouldn't run anymore, I think was what I was thinking. It hasn't yet. It still runs. I mean, I could load it up right now. Right. It still works. But I think I paid like $7 for it on sale. I'm like, all right, whatever. At least it's on Steam, so if it screws up, I can just download it again. So I think that's what I was thinking. But I was amazed when I found out that, because I'm like, because I looked at it, I said, how the hell do I have not even put a plane on this? How do I have 400 plus hours on it? Yeah, it's reading your standalone, because it is just FSX. It doesn't differentiate. You know what I mean? It doesn't know where it's from.
Right.
So, well, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, Dovetail, when they took over, they did do a couple of updates to it.
They did,
didn't they?
Yes, it's what is it now? 1.09 yada 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 whatever.
Yeah, something
Whereas
like that.
my standalone FSX is SP2, right? Well, I have the acceleration pack too, so it's acceleration and SP2. That's all. That's the last update for. There goes the yoke.
I mean, the one update I wish Dovetail would have done. I wish they would have gone in and somehow, and I don't know if they could have, but figured out some way to go in and allowed it to use as much memory as it wants.
Well, they could have, because Lockheed Martin, when they bought the code, right? The bones of FSX, because that's all P3D is, everybody, is FSX. That's all it is. They managed to make it work with 64-bit, so Dovetail certainly could have. You know what I mean? They just said, nah, screw it, we're not interested. So people will buy it like this, we don't care. So, okay.
And people still are. I mean, it's not a huge. I mean, it's not going to be in like the top 100 or anything on Steam, but a lot of people still buy it. And a lot of people still play it.
Sure.
It's not the game that's lagging, PCG. It's YouTube.
Yep, it's YouTube.
And the whole reason why